in terms of inputs. Okay, yeah. So now some of the parameters under this DFD, data flow description, let us see. First is the signal declaration. The input and output signals are declared in the module as ports. Intermediate signals other than input and output signals are declared using the predefined word wire in the Verilog as shown below. In the Verilog, signals are declared using reg when the value of the signal needs to be stored. In order to store the values, we use register, and in order to represent them in the Verilog test bench part, those are called as wires. Okay, the output whatever is obtained, and input and output signals both are declared using the ports. Okay, you see here in this bracket, these are the input and output signals which are declared. Okay, so these are called as port values here. Okay, yeah. So this was all about declaration part. Next is signal assignment statements. A signal assignment statement is used to assign a value to a signal. The left hand side of the statement should be declared as a signal. The right hand side can be a signal, a variable, or a constant. Okay, so these are the signal assignment statements which is kept in the left hand side and right hand side. So this event changes the value of I1 from 0 to 1, and also the value of I2 from 0 to 1. Okay, so we could be changing the values getting changed based on whatever the operation is obtained. Okay, so the calculation part and assignment part. In the calculation part, the value of the output O1 is calculated using the current values of I1 and I2. Current values indicates that whatever the value is to be given to that output O1 and which is already mentioned in the program. Okay, so those are the current values at time T0. The value 1 and 1 equal to 1 is calculated. This is not assigned to O1. Next is the assignment. The calculation of value 1 or the calculated value 1 is assigned to O1 only after the delay time. Okay, so the delay factor is very important here, because they would be giving you one delay. Based on that, you need to be performing that operation. Okay, in that propagation delay value only, the performance has to be completed. After that, the next shift occurs. Okay, the delay time can be implicitly or explicitly specified. Okay, we can be setting a delay time in the particular program, and you could be specifying the how many seconds or milliseconds of delay is required for that particular operation to work. Okay, since we are having two outputs, for the first output what is the delay, and for second output what is the delay. Okay, like that you could be specifying the delay time. If there is no delay time specified, the HDL uses a default a small delay of delta seconds. Okay, if there is no delay time specified, the Verilog programming or the HDL would be having a default delay set into it. Okay, yeah. So these were the signal assignment statements, and these are continuous and concurrent signal assignment statements as mentioned here. Okay, you see what do you mean by that? First is continuous signal assignment statements. A continuous assignment statement is the most basic statement in Verilog data flow modeling. It is used to drive a module, it is used to drive a value onto a net or assigns a value to a net. Okay, so this is the basic task of this continuous signal assignment statement. It assigns a value to the net. It uses the keyword assign so that we would be getting the value for the particular net. You see here in this code also we have given assign, right? Assign is the basic value which is given to the net, and it is mentioned in the body, right? So you see here assign O1, it means that O1 value is to be written in terms of inputs. Okay, so that's why we are assigning them. So that's why it is called as continuous assignment statement. For example, you see here wire 3 down to 0 z comma preset clear, assign z is equal to preset and clear. Okay, so these are the data provided, and z is to be assigned based on whatever the inputs are mentioned here. Okay, so that's why this is continuous signal assignment. Next is concurrent signal assignment. One of the primary mechanisms for data flow modeling in VHDL is the concurrent signal assignment statement. It has the following form, that is LHS target is less than RHS expression. The value of the RHS expression is assigned to the LHS target that is less than or equal to is called the signal assignment operator. For example, you see here C less than or equal to A and B. It means that the right hand side expression A and B is computed and the value is assigned to the left hand side target C. It means that C, A and B should be following this condition here, that is C less than or equal to A and B, then only the LHS target and RHS expression would be assigned. So using the statements, assignment statements, you could be assigning the separate values for the two concurrent outputs generated. Okay, so that's why it comes under concurrent signal assignment statements. So yeah, these things are not required. So yeah, these many things are required in order to know the Verilog data flow description. I hope it is clear. Positive edge triggered JK flip flop. Okay, yeah. So here this is the code for behavioral description of a 3-bit binary counter with active high synchronous clear. Okay, for this the code is mentioned here for a counter. So here first module, name of the module, that is CT case. Then the parameters are clock, clear and Q. Inputs are clock and clear bits. Output is 3-bit Q value. Okay, since it is a 3-bit binary counter, so that's why output is of 3 bits. So it is 2 down to 0. Again, outputs you should be storing in the register. Then initially the value of Q you need to be taking it as 101. Okay, so always at positive edge of the clock, again it will be working in the positive edge of clock. Begin if first, if clear equal to 0. Okay, we are using clear if statement. Why? Because we are having for clear value. Okay, first is for clear equal to 0. For clear equal to 0, these are the parameters, and for clear equal to 1, the Q value would be in the reset state. Okay, so that's why for clear equal to 0, begin case Q is the output, so 3-bit output, so you need to be writing all the combinations starting from D0 up to D7. Okay, for 3 dash D0, Q is equal to 3 dash D1, that is the next value would be getting counted, right? So that's why for D0 it is D1, D1 it is D2, and it goes on. Okay, and the final value for D7, it is again 0, so it recounts. So this is the all the counting sequences which were mentioned here with respect to case statement. Then end the case, then end this begin module. Finally, for if condition clear equal to 0. Now else means for clear equal to 1. For clear equal to 1, it would be again resetting the initial value, so it would be 3 dash b 0 0 0. So the value of q would be equal to 0 and end module. So this is the basic code which is used to represent a 3-bit binary counter with active high synchronous. Okay, so hope this is clear. Please note it down. This is one example program for that. Now let us see one important example which is very important and high chances of asking in the exam as well. That is behavioral description of 2:1 multiplexer with tri-state output. So here the word itself suggests tri-state. Okay, so it involves three conditions. So that's why we are using the format of else if or if else statements in order to represent a 2:1 mux. Okay, so basically we are having two conditions here. One is else if and if else. So what is the difference between them with respect to the Verilog code we are going to be discussing now? So first, let us see the flow chart of our 2:1 multiplexer. It consists of read value, input value, select and G bar. So these are the reading values which we take from the input side. A, B, select and G bar. First, you need to be checking whether G bar is equal to 0 or not. Okay, in the first case. For that also we are having two conditions, true, false. So this is for the first condition for true, false. So we are having here two possibilities, either true or false. So if G bar is equal to 0, then you need to be going for the next phase of selecting the whether which select line you need to be selecting it. Okay, so that's why if G bar is equal to 0, then only it is yes. If G bar is equal to 1, then it is no, because we say that it is of high impedance. So that's why you need to be repeating the procedure again. Okay, so now after that it will be choosing the select line. Okay, if select line is 1, then it is yes. So that's why you need to be approaching the second condition. If select line is 0, then you should be approaching the first condition, that is y is equal to a. It means that you need to be going towards the input side again and completely repeating the procedure. Okay, and if y is equal to b, again you need to be selecting y equal to b and repeating the procedure. Okay, in both the cases, select line job is to select which input is getting selected for the output to be functioning. Okay, so this is the basic flow chart of a 2:1 multiplexer, and this is the logic symbol. It consists of G bar, A, B, and the select line through which the inputs are getting selected, and one output. Okay, so hope this is clear. Now let us see the Verilog format for 2:1 multiplexer using both if else as well as else if. Okay, so what is the difference between if else and else if statement? We'll see here now. Firstly, let us see Verilog 2x1 multiplexer using if else statement. Okay, so firstly you need to be writing the module name, the name of the module, that is mux 2 into 1, and the port parameters are inputs are a, b, select line, G bar, and one output is y. Okay, so mention the inputs and outputs here. Inputs are a comma b comma select line comma G bar, then output is y. And we know that in case of a behavioral description in the previous video also I've told you, outputs are always put in the form, output values are always stored in the register. So that's why we need to be using the keyword register y. Okay, then after that, in order to begin the behavioral description, the keyword always you need to be executing it for inputs, right? So always at inputs, that is select line a, b, G bar, begin Now you need to be obtaining the if else condition. Okay, so here first condition is if g bar is equal to 1. So based on the flowchart only you need to be obtaining it. That is, see the flowchart and write the first condition, that is if g bar is equal to 1, then you would be getting y is equal to 1 dash bz. Okay, z indicates that it could be either 0 or 1. Okay, so it is the high impedance value. Okay, so 1 dash bz, it is a 1 bit binary number, that is y is equal to high impedance, so that's why it is z. Okay, then we are having else. Second condition else, then begin again if select line, if g bar equal to 0, or if select line, then y equal to b, else y equal to a. Okay, so this is for select line 0 or 1, whichever select line is getting selected. Okay, then end twice because we are having two times begin, so we need to be ending twice, then finally end module. Okay, so this is the basic format used for if else statement for selecting the select line for which input and g bar for the high input impedance value. So this is the clear one, but now the confusing part is the verilog else if. What do you mean by else if? Now let us see. In else if, again, module and name of the module and these things remains the same up to here, register y, always begin. Now you see here else if is basically, in if you compare it with if else, in if else we have mentioned only for g bar, right? But here in case of else if we are using both the conditions in one particular if statement. So you see here if g bar equal to 0 and select line 1. So if these two conditions satisfies, then only we will be getting the value of y is equal to b. Else if g bar equal to 0 and select line equal to 0. Okay, here we are considering all the possibilities together in one single loop and check. Okay, so else if for these two conditions, then y equal to a, then if these two are not satisfied, then it comes else. It means that the input is in high impedance state, so that's why you would be getting y is equal to 1 dash bz, then end and end module. Okay, so hope this is clear how the if else and else if statements are written with respect to if condition. Okay, so please note it down, this is very important.